explain that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We need to make sure that we have someone. Absolutely.
I've been spending a lot of time with her.
You good, Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
It is, he's the budget guy, it is all Steve.
All right. Call to order. Roll call.
Councilor Burlingame,
Here.
Councilor Steer.
Yep.
Councilor Grayhouse. Here. Councilor Arnold.
Here.
Councilor Worthy.
Here. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mix up the order, I see.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. At this time, the clerk has requested council to move items around on the agenda to allow the finance director to have time to calculate out the final numbers to be included in the ballot question. So can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion to move item B, adoption of the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget, discussion, interaction. One, final amendments to proposed budget prior to adoption.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item B, option for fiscal year 2024-25 budget discussion or action, final amendments to proposed budget prior to adoption if needed. The following additional proposed amendments to the budget for FY 24-25 for council consideration. These items were previously discussed by council. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to amend the building zoning official salaries, wages, fringe benefits, building zoning official to level fund at $73,055, which would be a decrease to the budget of $2,922.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next motion?
Motion to amend aid requests, Glocester Heritage Society Historic Cemeteries, decrease to $500, decrease to budget $5,700.
Okay, second?
I'll second that, and just for discussion here, once again, I think everybody on this council really appreciates everything that group's been doing, how important it is. Given that we've been at $6,200 a year for the last few years anyhow, and with a sitting unspent but obligated balance of approximately $12,000 obligated from the ARPA funds that need to be spent within a certain time parameter. I think this is a good idea. It's been sitting there, and I also like the idea to leave the 500 as a placeholder for next year's budget. So.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Next motion?
Motion to amend DPW Highway Division expenses to AED paving, $100,000, increase to budget $100,000.
Second?
I'll second that for discussion. So, this was what I was talking about last meeting. We have all of our funds obligated currently for the state match, which means that Gary's tied into those roads only to do, and he'll have no money for any paving. So we need to either de-obligate some of those ARPA funds, or, I don't know, de-obligate or I don't know what the word is for it, well, to move them so that he can use them for something else. So he can use them for regular paving, because we can't go in having no money for paving or fixing stuff.
Well, so, and Steve, you understand this a little better than I do as far as, like, an option would be, is if, because, let's rewind here. So, we've committed a certain amount of ARPA funds and fund balance, capital, towards 4 different funding, paving projects, because there would be like a third match, which comes up to about $130,000 from the state. But that also leaves us precariously, based on other purchases and usages in the capital, that there's very little money left for paving, right, to your point, John, if something else comes up. If we, an option might be if we were to forego and Steve and anybody else, if I'm not saying saying this correctly, or Beth or Jane, if we were to forego using that grant money, we'd be able to use that money on any project. And I think what would happen is, and Beth, maybe I'm wrong, it would get us up to around 700,000 worth of paving for the year, roughly.
Well, it depends on how you calculate the mix.
Okay.
So we've got ARPA funds obligated for that grant
Right.
match, we've got capital funds obligated for
Right.
grant match. So I think Gary probably could speak to it better,
Okay.
because I don't know whether we're actually committed to either of those grants at this time.
Okay.
But if we don't have to have the grant match, we could release those to use for other projects.
Right.
And that would give him all of those funds to do, I think, what he needs to do, or he could assign other projects. But I would clear that with Gary.
So,
Gary?
yeah.
If you wanna,
The other thing is, I believe, in some last minute digging, that those monies were married to only 2 projects, correct?
Some from last budget,
Okay,
and then moving forward with this budget. Karen had the actual figures, because she's been handling that part of the
now, let me,
thing. So we submitted certain roads, and, you know, the state come up with their 33% or whatever that was. I can't see why you couldn't back out of that agreement. I mean, they haven't given us any money yet, because everything has to be paid for first before you get anything back.
yes, so I spoke with Karen on that, because that's can we, and she said that there was some, for lack of better words, some paperwork / follow-up to do with that, but it should not be a problem. It's almost like it's not an ask or something that may or may not fly. It's more of a,
Back out of it.
and right now for fiscal year 25, with state matching, it looks like we had 181 of town funds committed to Cooper, and town share of a tick under 190 for Willie Woodhead. But that was only 2 specific projects, and I think the big takeaway for me, where I was gray last week, was we couldn't just unwind a certain amount. Let's say we had, 365 set aside for 30% matching. It was married to the project, not a dollar amount, so we couldn't just shave a random number off of that and get the matching for 1.5 projects. It had to be all or nothing. That's my understanding.
I've started preparation, because I thought we were going through it.
Yep,
Going to be going through it, so I got Willie Woodhead's ready.
Yep.
Working on Turtle Lock now,
that said,
I understand what we want to do, but we're changing the industry.
that said, based upon the overall costs of these projects, that should leave us with enough to complete what you've started and then some. Okay, that's, so obviously, that's what we're trying to accomplish here.
Right.
To have that fund, if there is, look, there's gonna be a pothole, and there could be a drain, and who knows what
Right,
else.
you can't have a year without any, nothing.
that's,
But the Tortolet project is in this current, we're working, with this current fiscal year, not the one we're working on tonight.
Right.
Okay.
so,
I like the idea of having the flexibility.
I agree.
I think it's the matches.
So we're gonna take Cooper and Willie Woodhead off the.
I
off the
think
table.
I think,
well,
or I don't know if that's we
Not the
take them off the
projects, so to
table,
speak.
but I think we take that off the table of projects we've committed to the state to do
Right, but they wouldn't be done this year.
to get a 33.
No, that would be, that would get done.
But it wouldn't be
This
done this
funding.
year. There'd be, if you take the funding away from the state match, you don't have the money. to do it.
But I think it then it would allow us to have more funding than what we have beyond that. I still think we could accomplish at least one of these, given more funding.
How's it gonna give you more funding if we're not, if we're saying we don't want you $130,000 from the state? That's not giving you more funding. That was a matching thing. So if we pull that off the table, we pull it off, we're not gonna get that $130,000. And if you're gonna do it anyway, why wouldn't we get the $130,000?
What you're trying to do is just make some flexible money, is what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's my
Yes,
goal, to be
that's what we need to do, but
Right.
can that,
And
So we're
Can it be
taking
done?
our own
If you don't take the state money, that opens that money up to any project. So you wouldn't have to specifically do those.
that's what I'm saying.
Right, but you would free up that money that you were gonna match the state money with. So that puts, you wouldn't have to come up with another $100,000, you would have the money there, it's not committed, correct?
Correct, that's what I'm saying, but so Cooper and Willie Woodhead wouldn't be the projects then?
No, it could be anything.
It could be
But
anything.
It gives you that flexibility, if something happens, you've got money in the bank,
Yeah.
go take care of it.
That's what I'm saying, that was my
Right,
point is,
You're not locked into those.
correct.
No, but if you went with the state, you were locked into them.
Beth, are we translating all of this right?
I think so. So what we've done is, what we're saying, or what the motion on the table right now is that we're gonna add $100,000 to operating funds. So that kind of takes the place of most of your match or your grant, but we're keeping all that money so that, unobligated to those two specific projects.
Right, because you're not taking the state money.
So you still,
could use it.
so what was the state money, 100 and what?
130-ish.
So you're $30,000 short or difference, less, but
Right.
now you can use it wherever you want.
Right, no,
No,
No?
no.
You're just freeing up that, whatever we were assigning to those projects.
We're staying there, and we're trying to add another 100,000 in case something else comes up.
Right, but if you back out of the state stuff, that money just drops.
It frees everything up, and that's
It drops
fine.
into that account with no
Yeah.
specific road to it.
And Willie Woodhead and Cooper aren't the most serious roads that need to get done.
Right, and if something comes up, you would have flexibility to be able to do it. You wouldn't have to go looking for money.
Right, but what I'm saying though, and Cooper and Willie Woodhead aren't the two most serious roads that need to get done in the town right now.
I'm not committed to that. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done, a lot. We would chew right up through that one. We will.
So if we're gonna do it anyway, why wouldn't we wanna keep the 130 from the state? If it's gotta be done,
Because you're trying to find more money to put into the account so that we have a small amount of operating money.
right, that's what
Why
this
not?
motion is for.
Right, but if you backed out of the state, you wouldn't have to go find $100,000. Correct?
That's correct.
Right. So
But
you
then-
wouldn't have, that would be off the table, because you would have whatever that money was that we were obligating to those two projects to get the 130. That would fall into the barrel and not be committed to anything.
It'd be like 260, so you have 260
Whatever
uncommitted.
that is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to find $100,000, because you just got the 260 into the account, that gives you flexibility.
I 100% understand it. All I'm saying is if we're gonna do Cooper anyway and Willie Woodhead anyway, why do we take the free money? But if you're, and I know what you're saying, I don't wanna be restricted in it, so it's gonna cost taxpayers in the future $130,000. It's money that we're not getting.
Right,
That's
well-
all I'm saying when we back out of it. I'm fine doing it, but we need to all understand that that's what we're accomplishing here too.
If you're trying to scrape up $100,000 that you're having a hard time scraping up. Am I wrong with that?
No, you're not wrong at all.
You know, this way here, you're not trying to find $100,000, you're just de-obligating, not taking the state money and putting that money into the FA account, and it can be used on anything. It's not tied to anything specific. So if
Okay.
we have a problem somewhere, you need a big drain fixed or something, you have the funds to do it. Other than that, you would have to find the money. I understand losing a money, but flexibility's big right now.
No, I understand.
Thank you.
So that, the reason I brought up, that's one option. The other option is the option where we add $100,000 to the budget, which is this amendment, which was, we're in a second.
But that would push us past, would that push us past the 4%?
Right now,
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at 3.91.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And we're taking money from surplus to plug that, to make sure they have enough for that grant matching capital.
So with that, does that leave us at 14.4, leave us at 14, where would that leave it roughly?
In surplus? I
Surplus.
can't answer that at this moment.
Okay.
I'd have to go look.
But that was figured into the original, baked into this original,
The capital
but,
number?
yeah, original capital number. I mean, I can go either way with this. I like the flexibility. I'm not a fan personally of putting capital expenses into an operating budget, but
My feelings right now are that is the flexibility sort of, I think the flexibility trumps, you know, what we're giving up by doing this. But, and I understand what you're saying about capital versus operating.
Well, I think the flexibility, just so we have the funds to take care of emergencies that come up.
I agree we need the flexibility, it just pains me to
Oh, yeah.
lose $130,000, that's all. So we don't, you know.
I'll go flexibility.
Pardon me? So then do we have a future motion that's gonna do that? Or have we obligated them, do we have to, that's what I'm questioning, that if we already have the money in there for the grant match, what do we have to do to undo it?
I think we voted to accept the grant, but I'll let Steve, I think he had a discussion with Karen
Well, I think
about the
we,
process.
the,
I don't think you signed anything yet.
No?
no, she, it was more of an alert the state.
The state has it, so.
I
we can just-
talked to her this afternoon, and she said that should not be an issue if that's what the council, if that's the direction the council decided to go.
And the match money is in capital under paving, right?
It is.
So I don't think there's any action that we would need to take financially.
To change the capital number? Or you wanna you can leave the capital number the way it is.
Because we
You'll
still use it
still be
towards.
adding money from surplus to cover the number that's for paving and capital. When we get done here, I can tell you what that number would be. I can't tell you that right now until I have all the adjustments. Because every time you make an adjustment, it changes the 2% capital requirement.
Oh, okay,
Right.
gotcha, yeah.
So we have a second?
This is all sort of leading into the what if scenario of speculation from today. That we're, hey, if we did this and that, I mean, is that basically,
I just hate, well, two things. To John's point, if there's 130 there, I hate to lose it, but at the same time, $100,000 really isn't a lot when it comes to paving and repairs and things like that. So the flexibility is, that's the one we gotta decide on tonight.
Well, I think we just don't vote for this, we've decided that we're going to flexibility.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. So we have to make a
That's fine.
decision.
I'll go flexibility.
And you can go either way, it's pro, cons, that's what it comes down to.
So we put a second on it?
We already did, I mean, I can withdraw my second.
Okay. Let's withdraw it.
I withdraw my second. I think Cheryl made the motion, or?
Yeah, I
Steve?
think Cheryl made the motion. Did
So
you
I
want to
withdraw
withdraw
the
that?
motion.
Do we need a new motion now?
I don't think so.
No?
Okay. Do we, I make a motion to amend the personnel office consultant service level fund at $30,000, decrease to budget of $2,000.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next.
Motion to amend the public safety animal control salary wages fringe benefits animal control officer with a 4% increase to salary, a decrease of $1,543.28.
I got a second? No second. All right, next one.
Make a motion to amend special appropriations for grant matching decrease to $30,000, a decrease of $20,000.
This was for the I'll second it.
Yep.
And this is because of recreation? Is that this one or no?
No, this was in the budget.
What was the grant for? Or was this if something
That
came
was,
up?
yeah,
Okay.
for matching grants. And Beth, I think there is some funds available already in that
There's
account.
a $50,000 fund balance right now.
Okay,
So
and
this will
then-
make it an additional 30.
And this comes out of
That's gonna be
Capital.
surplus.
surplus. Yep, fund balance, right, okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Special appropriations motion, please.
Make a motion to amend special appropriations, add future operations for Glocester schools in the amount of $100,000, which is an increase of $100,000.
Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
A, ARPA funds. Number one, deobligate the allocated funds. Discussion or action at this year's DEM recreation grant isn't coming to Gloucester. Council's choosing to deobligate ARPA project number 30 in the amount of $75,000. Can I get a motion?
Make a
Motion to deobligate project number 30, recreation matching grant fund in the amount of $75,000.
I'll second.
Yeah,
All in favor?
and the reason we're doing this is because unfortunately, the grants that we had put out for the state recreation grants, we did not score high enough, so we won't be receiving those this round.
2 years.
And we couldn't score high enough.
Right.
There wasn't
That was
enough points
just-
for us, so.
We did best we could, yep.
All right, number two, all in favor, sorry.
Aye.
Reallocation of allocated funds, discussion or action, council may now propose the funds previously obligated to project number 30 to be re-obligated. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to re-obligate $50,000 to new project number 52, legal fund, and $25,000 to project number 31, San Souci appraisal.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adoption of fiscal year 2024-25 budget, discussion or action. Final amendments to proposed prior budget to adoption if needed.
I think at this point, we're gonna have to wait for
Wait a moment.
Beth to come back.
Yeah, she's calculating. What?
The amount to be raised by taxes, 3.5 over last year's.
3.5? That's good.
Back in?
Page 5, yep.
And I got it.
Okay, here we go. Number 3, adoption fiscal year 2024-25 ballot question. Following question will appear on the ballot of May 21st, 2024 for the all-day referendum. The question have been checked by the finance director and must be adopted by the council. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the ballot language for question number 1 for the May 21st, 2024 financial referendum as follows. Question number 1, shall the town budget for fiscal year 2024-25 appropriate a sum of $34,181,062, which includes municipal services and capital expenses, Glocester School Department operating and capital expenses, Gloucester's share of the Gloucester Regional operating and capital expenses, includes a levy of property tax, not including motor vehicle taxes, of not less than $25,095,097 or more than $26,098,900.
Take a second.
I'll second that. That all good, those numbers?
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get the next motion, please?
I'll make a motion to adopt the ballot language for question number 2 for the May 21st, 2024 financial referendum. Shall the town budget include an appropriation of $88,349 from the surplus for capital expenses? This appropriation will come from the existing surplus and will not increase the amount to be raised by taxes.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to adopt the ballot language for question number 3 for the May 21st, 2024 financial referendum. Question number 3, shall the town budget include an appropriation of $30,000 from the surplus for grant matching funds? This appropriation will come from existing surplus and will not increase the amount to be raised by taxes.
A second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next motion.
Motion to adopt the ballot language for question number 4 for the May 21st, 2024 financial referendum. Shall the town budget include an appropriation of $100,000 from surplus for future operation expenses of Gloucester Public Schools? This appropriation will come from surplus and will not increase the amount to be raised by taxes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adoption of budget presented to the voters?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to adopt the 2024-2025 budget presented at public hearing on April 22nd as amended by the town council as of May 6, 2024 for presentation to the voters at the financial town referendum to be held on May 21st, 2024.
A second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion.
Adoption fiscal year 24-25 ballot questions, action taken earlier on the
Yeah.
agenda.
And I think it's good for the public to know too that this is it. So there's no more changes gonna be made. This is what they're gonna see and vote on, on May 21st.
All right, we just need a final motion, please.
Well,
Now,
Just gonna make this
before
look like a big one.
we get the big one, I wanna thank everybody who worked their tails off
Yep.
on this thing.
Yes.
To help the council, to help everybody in the town of Gloucester, so,
You know,
Thank you.
A lot went into it, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, who's doing this one?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.